Mikel, you can hear what the crowd think. I know you love winning so much, but I don't think I've ever seen you as happy after a win as that. Is that about right?
Yes, because I think in life you have to show gratitude. And when we had difficult moments and adversity and criticism, these people stood by this club and our players. And it's our way today to say thank you so much, and this is for them.
Is it quite emotional, in a way, to hear that after all this time?
Very, because when externally there are a lot of things happening and you are trying to rebuild a project and you believe you are trying to do the right things, the results, they come in and you have difficulties, you have to stay by your values. And we kept the people together internally in the club, and now we are creating a connection with our supporters.
Just over 50 games into your Arsenal career, you've had some pretty good days. Is this the best yet?
100%, you know, it's probably the best day of my life so far. Winning another North London derby at home and, you know, scoring in front of my family up there, you know, it's the best feeling ever, you know.
What was the plan for the game? And going behind early, did you have to change things very early on?
No, the game plan, we had the game plan. We were not able to execute it the right way. And my decisions according to the game plan was not the good ones.
Are you saying it was your decisions and you're taking full ownership of that?
Of course, it's us. I believe that the game plan was good. Credit to Arsenal because they were stronger, they were faster than us, they were more aggressive, and we were not able to control the possession of the ball. We lost too many duels, but the responsibility is mine. Of course, it has to be mine, and what I'm focused on is to make the right decisions and work and get it right.
Yes, well, we'll talk about Spurs in just a moment, but what a day for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Good evening to Jermaine and Martin. He's got a big smile on his face tonight. They were brilliant today, weren't they, Arsenal?
Amazing. I mean, I was immensely impressed. They absolutely blew Spurs away in those opening exchanges. The directness, the hunger, the way they set out and took control of this game was probably the best 45 minutes I've seen from Arteta's team. He was under huge pressure going into this. Nice shape about the team, solid at the back. Lots of options in midfield. What they tried to do, they create like a three there. Tomiyasu sits back in the three. Tierney gets down the left-hand side, got a couple of options in midfield, and then these two players, Ødegaard, Smith-Rowe, coming off the lines, and they were brilliant today. But Tierney wants to get down that left whenever he can. Aubameyang, the skipper, was really in the mood today. This was early on, 3-4 passes, and they've gone right through that Spurs team. Excellent build-up. I like this now. Ben White winning those challenges. Can get that ball, recycle it, and then they're away. And this is going to be a famous four if they keep playing the way they are. The kids in the team, Smith-Rowe, Saka, brilliant. Ødegaard's vision, and then Aubameyang in the mood, wanting to make runs off the ball. Look at Smith-Rowe just drifting into that position. Beautiful goal from an Arsenal point of view. And it just kept happening. Smith-Rowe comes all the way across, really difficult to deal with. That's the signal for Tierney to get down the left-hand side. They're nice and patient in their build-up, taking control. There's a hunger about it. Look at this. This young man wants to make things happen at Arsenal. He's whistling down that left-hand side. This time, nothing comes of it. And this is a goal, by the way. This is a brilliant move, a give and go. Smith-Rowe, no one going with him. And again, look, it's the same four. Yeah, he was brilliant today, Aubameyang. But those youngsters around him, the energy. Look at this for a finish. Comes onto it, never in doubt. Emphatic the way they played. And this is only the 12th game that Arteta has had at home with a full crowd, and there was a unity today. It was electricity in the ground, and this young man was at the forefront of everything they did. He's the future of the club. It's great to see the youngsters coming through the academy. You know, Smith-Rowe talking about it's a dream, and now it's a reality. It's not a dream anymore. They're doing it in an Arsenal shirt, and they're doing it to a really high level. Aubameyang here again, look, pulling away Ødegaard's vision. Perhaps that was a foul, but Arteta, you have to say, 3 games, he lost the first 3 games, the international break came, he had a good look at himself and the group, and he's come back now with a really strong 11.
What a talent they've got in Emile Smith-Rowe as well, but they were allowed to play, Jermaine.
Listen, this group of players and this manager have suffered a lot. They've been ridiculed at times during this season, and this was a really special moment for the manager and the players where they've, you know, through that suffering, they've come together. He's worked with his players, and you could see that today. You could see that performance, that it mattered to them. the minute they walked out the tunnel, I could see in their eyes, you know, in those Arsenal players' eyes, that they understood what this fixture meant a lot more than Tottenham. And they went on to prove that. And with the young players that they've got and the way that he's got them organised, you've got to give full credit to Arteta here. You know, how he's managed to turn things around and get everybody, including the fans, back on side. They're absolutely brilliant.
Conversely, though, it just seems that the manager, Nuno, doesn't realise the expectation needed in these derby games. We saw that in the Palace game, and today was exactly the same.
It was a very slow start from Spurs, wasn't it? We'll come on to Spurs in just a moment, but one of our favourite moments this afternoon was Aubameyang's celebration. Very similar to a man you played alongside, of course, the legend Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, yes. Actually, yeah, he played with me, actually, did he? Did you say? No, I played with him, yes, you're right.
Did he just say that on live television, Joey? I think he did.
Wonderful player. But he's emulating what he's doing now, isn't he? Aubameyang today looks a little bit like him.
Yeah, absolutely. And those young players are going to look up to him as well. Let's talk about Spurs because, Jermaine, this was a North London derby. You two boys have played in these as well.
Yeah.
And it looked like Spurs were either nervous, they didn't have a game plan. Nuno said they had a game plan. Could you spot it?
I didn't, no. You know, as you can see here, it's... I suppose these three results here, for me, papered over the cracks as to kind of what actually was the reality of what was going on at Tottenham. You know, I think brilliant against City, don't get me wrong. But in the other games, I think the performances didn't warrant their league position at that time. But the big worry for me today, you know, this is the type of game where you would be... people would say to you about a player, as a player, that you don't care. You don't understand, you don't care. And trust me, there were some performances in there today that were poor, that were terrible. I mean, Dele was poor, and Ndombele was shocking, Højbjerg, Harry Kane. There's a number of names I could go through, trust me, but just to name a few, Son as well was really poor. But the bigger concern was I was watching a team who didn't have a clue what they were doing. And that falls on the manager, unfortunately. With or without the ball, they did not know what they were doing. This is the midfield here. You've got Ndombele, Højbjerg and Dele, miles apart. Can Ndombele go and get on the ball? Can he go into that little pocket of space and move this Arsenal side? Ask a question. He doesn't do that, so they end up going long. Second time, Sanchez on the ball. Can somebody here come and get on the ball, please? There's my midfield. Acres of space in midfield. Again, why don't Dele just drop in here, give it to me, create a link, get the ball out into Lucas Moura, and we're playing. But you got players running away from the ball. Nobody wanted to take responsibility. So in the end, the ball just ends up going long. This was shocking. You know, the minute the ball goes over Ndombele's head here, get on the second ball, react, try and do something. He doesn't do anything. There's that hole that we spoke about before. Not a midfielder in sight. And the reaction of these two is shocking. Your defence is in trouble here, and they're plodding along.
Yeah.
They're not sensing the danger.
They're all over
not
the place,
sensing anything.
All over the place,
and before you know it, it's in the back of the net. It's like, where is that sensing of danger? It's nowhere to be seen. Here's the shape. It's a flat 4-3-3. Make a decision. Are we pressing as a team, or are we dropping off? And Ndombele's got to go in. He's got to do something. He doesn't go in, and he doesn't mark Ødegaard. If Partey finds Ødegaard there, he's simply in behind. We just saw that in Martin's run. 1-2 passes, and they're in at you. So that's without the ball. With the ball, you've got three players here not even looking at the ball. The ball is in play and nobody's even looking. Arteta at the bottom of the screen, he's organising his troops. He's dragging them into position. He's saying, come on, squeeze up. You've got a back four with Tottenham at the minute, scrambling to get out of this defensive third. And then at the top end of the pitch, players that don't care. Not interested, and when they do get the ball, Arteta's got his troops into position and they can take control of the game.
And look at the body language of Arteta as well compared to Nuno. He was like that all afternoon.
He's got all sorts to do. I mean, I spoke about this at the top end of the show. You know, this is after 3 games, what kind of their ranks were. So obviously, points position, they were first, great. But everything else, kind of the shots, the goals, the expected goals against, they're a mid-table team. And that's essentially what we're talking about with regards to kind of papering over the cracks those results were.
OK, so here's the question then. Did they dupe us with their start of the season? Or is that squad good enough to compete for 7th, 8th, 9th in the Premier
Yeah, it's
League?
definitely good enough to compete for 7th. You know, they should be competing for a Europa League place. They're nowhere near good enough to finish in the top 4. Not at all. But, you know, as individuals, they do have a group of players there that can get into Europe. But he's got to find a way of playing. And today was not that day.
OK, boys, fantastic stuff for now. Thank you very much.